big event coming up in Victoria, the March for the Babies on Saturday, October 8 at 1 p.m. That'll be a big day, hey?
It'll be a wonderful day. So this is the first march after COVID, and it's really important to keep the value of the unborn child and the care for mums in the public arena. Victoria was the leader in providing for abortion up to birth in Australia. And we know that very late-term babies have been aborted in Victoria up to 37 weeks. That's not a tragedy. That's deplorable. And it's deplorable for the society. It's deplorable, obviously, for the child whose life has been ended. But it's also deplorable that we as a society were unable to support a mum to see her pregnancy to full term. Effectively, it was full term. And the issue that we all have to understand in this is that at that sort of level, a baby has to be delivered, whether through natural process or through cesarean. So what we have to do is first kill the baby by an injection to the heart. That is what we have come to in Australia. And so the March for Life is important that we uphold the value of each of these lives and say to, just bear with me, I've just got to walk away from a lawnmower, and say to the public in this country, these lives are important and we're going to uphold them.
Amen. Every life is precious. And if people want to find out more, it's the March for the Babies at October, Saturday 8 at 1 p.m, starting at the Treasury Gardens in Melbourne and walking to Parliament House. And I remember my first ever pro-life rally I went to was actually in Sacramento, California in the US, and there was thousands of people, and we had gaffer tape over our mouth that had the word life on it, and it was a silent protest. And I remember just praying and fasting and just praying for America at that time. And who'd have thought we would have had the big news with Roe v. Wade that we've had in the last year, hey?
Yes, so the case of Dobbs and Jackson, which is the case that overruled Roe against Wade, is a critical development in the whole pro-life movement. Now, in Australia, there's been a furious reaction by those who want to promote abortion. The Greens are calling for an inquiry to have more access to abortion. So let's just think about that. We have abortion to birth pretty well across the country. And now they want to not just allow it, but promote it. So that means that we are going to be in a situation very similar to what China was a few years ago, where they actually coerced abortions.
Wow, amazing.
China's moving back from that because they have to, because the one-child policy didn't work. We're going in a similar route. So this is why the walk is so important, because upholding the value of life in public, it does more than just on the horizontal communicating to our friends and neighbors and fellow citizens and politicians. It does something in the vertical, in the spiritual. It changes the atmosphere of a community.
Yeah.
So that's why for everybody on the 8th of October who's listening in Melbourne or in Victoria, you have nothing better to do than to be at that walk.
Yeah.
You really haven't.
Yep.
Please be there.
Well, let's hope and pray that many people do head along to the March for Babies in Victoria. And I do know that there's also a new pro-life movie coming out soon called Life Mark, which is going to be out in cinemas soon. And great to see. It's produced by the Sherwood Pictures guys, the guys that did War Room and Courageous and others. So let's hope that pro-life message keeps getting out there.